What's up, everybody? Christian Battle here about Sports Media. I was just live a second ago. I had already started the live stream, but I meant to go hit something on my phone and I accidentally stopped the stream. But anyway, welcome to Off the Court episode 1. I did a video for it last week, and what happened was I accidentally deleted the video by mistake. And so here I am, I'm redoing it. It's not necessarily going to be what I covered last time, as there's been some different news. As you can see with the title here, we will be talking mainly about Kobe Bryant and what he meant for basketball and the NBA. Let me make sure real quick, get this working, see if... Yeah, audio's good. Sounds like. Yeah, audio's good. Sounds like. Yep. We got it. All right, so Kobe Bryant recently passed away. What a legend he was in basketball. I mean, where do you even start with a player like him? First off, thoughts and prayers again go out. I know I already posted a video the other day on Sunday about him dying in the plane crash, and it really sucks and all that. So we'll talk a little bit about that, and I'll also, before we get more into him, I'm going to go ahead and mention this week's Friday night NBA stream is going to be the Rockets and the Mavericks. That's 8 o'clock Eastern time, and I'll probably be on here sometime between 7:45 and 7:55, a few minutes before the game actually starts, so we can go ahead and obviously, so I don't miss any of it, and maybe we can talk a little bit prior to the game. So if you're joining in, feel free to type in the chat, I also, I mentioned this in my very first video that I want to talk NBA, football, and baseball as well. With baseball season coming up in late February, I think on the 21st or 22nd of February is when it starts. I'm going to go ahead and start doing some MLB stuff. I think I want to do I don't know if I want to do a live stream or anything, but I definitely want to do some preview videos for the leagues, the American League and the National League. I don't know if I want to do, because I know there's like the National League Central, American League Central, American League like East or something, whatever it is. I don't know if I want to do it based on division or based on just the teams in that league. I guess probably do two, one for the American and the National, one each probably, but anyway. So anyway, just wanted to throw that out there. Definitely want to react like I've been doing to basketball games, as you guys know. I want to try to do that for some baseball games. I know that those don't really take as long as basketball and football games. So those probably won't necessarily, well, you got to think commercials. So those could possibly be about 2 hours long. So, but you never know. But anyway, I just wanted to go ahead and throw that out there. And again, if you have any Kobe Bryant memories, maybe you saw him play, maybe you met him, maybe you were a fan growing up, maybe you've never seen him play, probably don't know who he is. Anything you want to say about him, feel free to put it in the chat. I'll be happy to read any comments. Doesn't even have to be Kobe Bryant based or anything. So, but we talk about Kobe Bryant. Let's read some stuff on him. I'm getting all this. I'll cite my sources. I'm getting this from Wikipedia. So normally that stuff can be right, but people edit that crap all the time. Let's be real. He was drafted in 1996 by the Charlotte Hornets. picked 13th overall. He was a guard. He spent like 20 years with the Lakers. Let me mute my phone real quick. My bad. He was one of the best players in the league. I mean, and just he got 21 triple doubles. He won the NBA Slam Dunk contest. I mean, if anything, he was the Slam Dunk king. He was fast. He was electric on the court. And just a good human being off the court. I never met him, but I know that he was just such a great person. And, he was just a people person. He loved being around people and all that, from what I understand. And, but I really don't have much to say about him, other than he was a great player, a people person, and again, never met him, but that's just what I've heard. So anyway, so rest in peace, Kobe Bryant, and thoughts and prayers go out to his family in these tough times. So moving on from that, I already have a prediction for who will possibly make the NBA Finals. Now, again, this was something I covered when I tried to do the live stream the first time, and again, accidentally deleted the video, so here I am trying to, recreate it, I guess, make up for it. So as it is right now, let's look at the standings. They have it listed 1 through 8, the top 8 teams, and then the rest just don't have a number. So look at the Eastern Conference. You have the Bucks, Milwaukee, Miami Heat, Toronto Raptors, Boston Celtics, Indiana Pacers, Philadelphia 76ers, Orlando Magic, and the Brooklyn Nets. Looking at the Western Conference, you have the Los Angeles Lakers, the LA Clippers, Denver Nuggets, Utah Jazz, Dallas Mavericks, the Houston Rockets, Oklahoma City Thunder, and the Memphis Grizzlies. It's looking right now that it's probably, if you were to take the obviously the top 2 teams the top 2 teams, one from each division or conference, I should say, and put them together, you would have the Bucks and the Lakers for the finals. If they did it it's the top 2 teams from each conference, or the top team each conference, that's what it would be. Now, of course, a lot can happen. Still a lot of basketball left to be played. And, so, anyway. Real quick, want to get into some college basketball real quick. Let me see. So, how about my Alabama Crimson Tide? How are we doing? I think we're on a good roll here. We've won 4 straight games. We beat Auburn, Missouri, on the road at Vandy, and home against Kansas State in a Big 12 SEC challenge. We got some pretty interesting games to come. Our next few games are at LSU, home against Arkansas, home against Tennessee, on the road at Georgia, on the road at Auburn, home against LSU, A&M at home, and I could go on, but you get it. It's the rest of the schedule is pretty much SEC schedule. we're the third in the SEC, which is pretty good for what Nate Oates has done in his first year. To be third, ranked behind. Wait a minute. How does it say? How are we third in the SEC when this list has us? Oh, I bet it's because we're tied. We're tied with Florida. That's what it is. So, anyway. So, Alabama is looking like a team right now that can compete, right? They're looking like a team that can compete with the conference, and hang on, I want to change this real quick. We're a team on the rise, and I'm proud of what I've seen from now. Are we going to make the tournament? No, we're not. I mean, we could. I'm not going to sit here and say we'll be lucky to get an invitation. We made it last year with Avery Johnson in his final year as the coach. We obviously have the talent. Avery Johnson was a great recruiter. I love what Nate Oates has done. Wouldn't be surprised if we got a national invitation. But to say that we're going to make a run at the Sweet 16 or the round of 64 64 probably could be our destination, but we're not making an Elite Eight. We're not making the title. We're still far from that. We're not like Kentucky yet, We're not Gonzaga. We're not Virginia. So we still got a lot of work to do, but we're on a good. We're on track to where we want to be. I do apologize. As a sportscaster, you probably don't want to say stuff like we and us. I should say Alabama, they are on a roll. I think I'm showing too much fan pride, but anyway, I just think that we, or they, I'm going to do a blooper reel one day probably. But Alabama's on a good roll this season, and I like what I'm seeing. So, I'd be surprised to see them make the Final Four. I'd be surprised to see them win it all this year. I would not be surprised to see them make it to like the Sweet 16 or whatever. I don't think they'll make. I think the farthest that Alabama could get, right? Now, obviously, they got some quality wins, I guess, but it's they got some losses that are hard to shake off. I think they're playing. Who are they playing tomorrow at 7:00 at LSU? On the road, they're playing the 22nd ranked team. Then Arkansas at home, Tennessee at home, Georgia on the road, 17 Auburn on the road, home against LSU. Probably will either move up or down from 22, depending on what happens tomorrow. That's at home. A&M at home. Ole Miss on the road. Mississippi State on the road. South Carolina at home. Vandy at home. Mizzou on the road. So, again, the rest of it's SEC. There's not a whole lot of room for quality wins. I mean, the next few teams, the rest of it's pretty much unranked except for LSU and Auburn, which, of course, remember they beat Auburn pretty well, 83-64, and so they did a great job in this Kansas State game. The Big 12 SEC Challenge, they won 77-74. This was no buzzer beater. It was just, uh, you know, just defensively they showed up and did what they had to do to get a win. Prevented a loss and got, again, a much needed win for Alabama. So I like what I'm seeing from Alabama this year. A lot left to be played. And they just got to keep it up, I guess. So there's that. Again, I'll be live on Friday at 8 o'clock. I'm doing Rockets versus Mavericks this Friday, 8 o'clock Eastern Time. That's when the game starts. Again, I'll be live around 7:45 to 7:55, sometime in there. And in other news, I know this is a... I know that this is a basketball show that I'm making, but I do have some big news. Get ready. Hold on, let me put it up here. Yes, haha. MLB baseball talk coming soon. Basically, what I'm doing here, where I talk basketball here, I'm gonna do something for baseball. Now, am I going to have like a title for my MLB show? Yeah. I haven't figured out what I want to call it yet, but if you guys have any suggestions on what I could call it, definitely comment and let me know, because I'm still trying to think about that. But sometime within the next month, let's see. Let me check real quick. The see, spring training is, I guess, is what I want to look at. No, I want to look at the schedule. So it starts February 22nd. Still waiting on what channels these games are going to be on, so that way I can pick one and stream. And I guess I'll start talking about it. Let's see, probably the first or second, probably maybe the second week of February. Give me a little bit of time to prepare and think a little bit more of what I want to do. Because right now I know I want to talk about it and, have my own show. I still got to think of what I want to call the MLB show. But again, if you guys have any suggestions, let me know, comment, and all that. So, again, there's really not a whole lot to talk about this week. But, I mean, I guess really there's not a whole lot of news. Basically, what we've been seeing the past couple days is Kobe Bryant, and what we've seen is Kobe Bryant news. Again, rest in peace. I mean, that was tragic when I saw it, and it's weird because I just felt heartbroken because, and I never saw him play. Never saw him play. Never really saw. Never really heard his press conferences or anything. He retired a few years ago. What did he retire after, like the 15 season or the 2016 or something like that? But I never really saw him. Never really saw him play, and it still it still kind of hit hard when I saw that he had passed away and he was killed in that helicopter crash. And especially, it really sucks when it's you and your child, right? Like, that's just heartbreaking. So Let me put this back up. So that's what we'll talk about pretty much the rest of the show is Kobe Bryant. I mean, wow. I mean, it sucks, you know? So, again, it was his, I guess it was just his one daughter. He has, like, what, 2 or 3 daughters, I think, but I think it was Gianna. I don't know how you say his daughter's name, but man, it was really tough, and you know, I just like ever since Sunday, every other thing that I have seen, every other notification that I've gotten from ESPN and all that has been Kobe Bryant stuff, right? Died in, what is that, Calabasas, California, wherever that is. He was born in Philadelphia. He was the youngest player in NBA history to reach 30,000 career points at age 34. All-time leading scorer in Lakers franchise history. Back in 2010. So, I mean, where did he went to school at, let's see, well, he didn't go to college, but he was straight out of high school. Now, I don't know how that works. I don't know how you just go straight from high school to NBA. I guess just a lot of training, and I guess it's probably a little bit different than the NFL, because if you're in the NFL, you obviously played college somewhere, right? Unless it's the same both ways. I don't know. Yeah, heartbreaking news, and it really sucks, you know? I mean, I really don't know what all to say. I really don't have much to say about Kobe Bryant. I never met him, right? But I know that he was, man, he was awesome on the court and off the court. No pun intended for the show. But, man, it sucks, man. I'm going to just read some stuff, and I'm reading this all off his Wikipedia page, I guess, and so whether or not all this is true, we don't know, but I'm just reading what I'm seeing here. I want to make sure that I cite my sources and all that, I guess, so November 2nd, 2012, he scored 40 points with 2 steals. He passed Magic Johnson as the Lakers' career leader in steals. 1,724 steals. Wow, that's a lot, man. His overall record, let's see. Let me Google this. What was Kobe Bryant's record? NBA record. Unless they don't do it. Hold on, I think what I want to look up is how many games did Kobe Bryant win? And if I can't find it, he got at least, what do you get, like 5 championships? Pretty much all with the Lakers. 8-time NBA All-Star, 20 seasons, 1 regular season MVP, 2 final MVPs, Man, I mean, his accolades are incredible. He is definitely up on the shelf with some of the greatest basketball players to ever play the game and ever live. No doubt. So, anyway, again, I never saw him play. I knew how great he was, though. And I mean, it's tough for all sports fans, for all basketball fans, Laker fans, and I mean, it's really tough. So. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's really not much for today's episode. Uh, Again, a quick recap. I got Lakers and Bucks for the finals this year. It kind of looks like that's what it's going to be. And I want to get your thoughts. Who do you have winning the NBA this year? Who do you got for the finals? It's pretty easy to pick the conference winners. But once you get to who's going to win the division round and the conference round and all that, that's when it's kind of tough. So, but again, so not a whole lot for today's episode. This is the first episode of Off the Court, kind of a redo because I accidentally took the first one down. But making up for it here. A couple different topics though. So anyway, let's see. I want to see what are some games on tonight that I won't be streaming because I only stream on Fridays. But we got the Knicks at the Charlotte Hornets, Golden State Warriors and the 76ers. That'll be a really good game. New Orleans Pelicans at Cleveland Cavaliers. Zion, who is going to be the greatest NBA player to ever live one day, by the time it's all said and done. Yeah. Boston at Miami. Phoenix at Dallas. LA at LA. The Lakers and Clippers is postponed. I want to know why. Made up at a later date. I've got to look this up real quick. They never really postpone it. A NBA game. I wonder. Oh. Okay, now it's making sense because of the death of Kobe Bryant. Because he was a Laker, they're postponing it because of his death, and I guess they just want to make sure that. Well, I don't know what it is. I guess just like take this day off since it's so recent and all. I guess, but. Which would make plenty of sense. So, not a whole lot of interesting games. Probably the best one we're going to see tonight is Golden State at Philadelphia. And there's only one actually airing on TV. What is it with this, man? The Celtics at the Heat at 8 o'clock on TNT. Tomorrow, not any interesting games. Toronto at Cleveland on Thursday, and the Sixers and the Hawks, and so you really get the good ones on Fridays and Saturdays, really. So. So anyway, not a whole lot to talk about today. That's pretty much it for today's episode. This will be on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So I'll be back here on Tuesday, or Thursday, I mean. Today's Tuesday. I'll be back here on Thursday, unless something else comes up. But as of right now, I'll be able to stream. And again, this week's game that I am streaming on the 31st, this Friday, the Dallas Mavericks and the Houston Rockets. Again, that game is at 8 o'clock on ESPN. I'll be live around, let's see, maybe 7:45, 7:50, sometime in there. So thanks to everyone who stopped in. Hit the like if you enjoyed this. Subscribe if you're new. And I will see you guys next time. Appreciate it. Until then, Ballard Sports Media is checking out.